What's up, everybody? Luther here. We back on the couch. Today I got my guy, my childhood home big bro, Mr. Earl Watson.
What's up, Lou? You know what I'm saying? You got me on your show, dog. I just want to say this before we start. Like, I'm proud of you, dog, because where we come from, we don't create these opportunities unless we do make it to the league or we do go professional in rap, music, or acting. And you grinding it out your way, and you still grinding it out, and that's what this is all about, right? You're going to come here, you're going to work hard, we're going to push you, and you're going to always make people get to their peak. So, proud of you for that.
Man, appreciate it. That's love, man. Because to be honest, man, I was telling somebody else, I said, man, people don't know this, but like, you know, how we grew up, for one, and for two, like another person like you who came in my life at a crazy time, and you was like, just took me and didn't really know me. Hey, look, we going to the gym. Bethany, North Kansas City, out on the road every morning, 7 a.m. And every day you had the same shit you had said to me, Lou, you gotta put in work. No matter how, I know some of these kids couldn't handle your attitude and how your demeanor is going toward the game of basketball. This is what you love to do. Yet, man, I ain't gonna lie. It was days I'd leave the gym like, damn, this shit hard. But then I leave relieved because I know I'm getting better. But back then, you was a real big inspiration to me because I'm like, shit, it's not only like my guy from the block, but you mean business when it comes to basketball. You mean business when it comes to like, this is your ticket. And so like it taught me like use basketball as a vehicle to get because moms and dad couldn't afford college. So I appreciate that watching you was like, dang, like from the block, like dang, if he could do it, I know I can do something. Some gotta give. And then like just every day working out. I can remember all those days just going, Bethany or Kansas City, LA. I remember I was getting killed by Paul.
It's for the love of the game. You know what I mean? I always say this, like, if you really want to be great, you grind before the sun come up. You grind while the sun is up, and then you grind when the sun goes down. And that's the beauty of the game. You constantly grind. You constantly push yourself. You become comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's something that this generation, every generation say the last generation doesn't have it. But I think this generation is more of a challenge because they have the video games. This generation, they have the technology in their hands. We didn't have as many distractions, so all we had was to find and to get us engaged was a sport or was interacting or was being social. So parents today, you have to kind of give that old school mentality back and mix it into a new generational type of delivery, so to speak.
I like how you just brought up the social media aspects and the distractions. How do we, as far as our era, instill like, hey guys, you got to keep turning up? Like, I think one of my biggest challenges doing not just weights but on the court basketball is kids. Like I have a rule: when you on the court, you get done, the phone. Don't touch the damn phone. You're in the weight room. Don't touch your phone. For these 2 hours, this is your time to get better. It's not a lot of trainers or coaches who instill those kind of because they just know that's how it is. But I take it personal because I don't care if you're investing, you're paying. I take it like, look, your parents spend this kind of money. You spending money on your niece, her friends, or whatever. Like this is your time to get better.
I got a good story.
And how do you do that dealing with your generation, not just your family, your kids, your coach?
Well, here's a good story. You never know who's gonna walk into the gym.
Correct.
So it's 2000s. I'm sitting in the gym at UCLA and I see this kid, a super athletic, a lefty. He's bouncing around, dunking, hitting threes. I'm like, this kid can play. And I'm asking around, like, who's recruiting him? And there wasn't a lot of people recruiting him. So I called Steve Lavin, who was my head coach at UCLA. He was now at St. John's at the time. And I said, Lav, I have this kid for you. His name is Amir Garrett. So Lav offers him a scholarship. Amir Garrett goes to St. John's to play basketball. Eventually goes off into baseball. He's now pitching for the Royals, right? He pitched for the Reds. So you never know who's watching. So these kids who are in the gym, who are on their phone, who are, being disrupted, being distracted, then you're not serious about the game. And you're wasting your parents' investment into helping you grow to get a college scholarship first, right?
Yep.
So parents have to kind of structure that and take advantage of that and implement those rules. As a trainer, everything we do as a trainer or as a teacher, you do it out of a place of love and a place of getting better.
Right.
So when you come into the gym, you set the tone of your gym like parents set the tone of their household, right? You set the tone of the gym and you implement that and you hold kids accountable. You hold players accountable, because if not, as they walk away, people are going to ask them, where do you train? If they don't look the part of the training, then it's going to give your gym a bad name, right? So just set the tone and just implement that.
I think it's hard for me because this ain't me. That's me in there, weight room, court. Let's do this, let's do that. And so even you've been in the league all these years, you've been around in interviews. I'm just the type of guy I just like to come in, do what I do best, which is train in the weight room, train on the court, on the football field, soccer field, boom, I'm done. But now it's so, like you said, social media, which leads me to the next question is as a trainer, I can't just work a kid out in the weight room. I can't just, be on the court. Now the kids have to have this.
Yeah.
They have to have the Facebook. They have to have the Instagram. They got to have their Snap. They got to have their TikTok. Because why? It's all marketing now. And so it's a blessing and a curse, because we didn't have an opportunity where we could use our name to make money. Now with the NIL, these kids can literally make 7 figures in college. I was telling a parent when I was at my JUCO before in North Dakota, man, I got $7 a game.
Yeah.
Now these kids, I'm old child man, we doing well with NIL money and this and that. It's a great opportunity, but it's still also to chop it up and see how far we've come and where the direction college basketball is going. And as far as the NIL now, it's in the air. To me, I look at it like I told all the parents now, it's like the Wild Wild West.
How many times can you reinvent yourself? And that happens regardless of what profession you choose. So these kids who are coming up who have NIL opportunity based on their social media presence and their skill is get NIL money on potential.
Correct.
Eventually potential runs out and it's going to be who are you? And the greatest example of that, where potential was always there and NIL was there in a different way with creating marketing through social media, was the Ball brothers, right? Mm-hmm. 2 went to the league, Jello reinvented himself. He's doing the modeling thing now and he's still hooping, so he's constantly reinventing himself. Even Zoe and Melo constantly reinvented themselves as potential had to come to forefront to actually see who you are on a platform. They became NBA point guards and Melo Rookie of the Year, right? So it doesn't last forever. And that's why when you come in here, you have to put in the work, because eventually, if you get paid off of this, eventually you have to cash that check where it says no more potential money is coming through the NIL. You're now a professional after your X amount of years of college. How are you going to reinvent yourself through social media if you can't go to the league? And if you can't go to the league, how can you continue to spread it across and be diverse and be creative in different ways and different platforms? So it all comes to a head sooner or later.
What is your take on, as far as now, by you saying that with the Ball brothers, going back to grassroots basketball, do you feel as though, as a coach, you are in the league, do you feel like, I see it from this perspective, I see eventually no more high school basketball. I see kids going to high school and then they go to the club teams. 2 club teams here locally literally just got their own facility built. And they have everything, the practice facility, weight room, programs, and it's just like St. Louis same way. You got St. Louis Eagles, or what is it, Brad Beal, his team, own facility. So I see, just like in overseas, when I played overseas, it was you go to high school, they go to their club team, and I can see that coming to the States. I'm not saying it would happen, but
academies will come to the United States.
Can you see that?
It's going to happen. The NBA has them in almost every other country but the United States. But the thing is, a building can be shiny and beautiful. If you send your kid there, just because the building is nice and they have courts and they have a gym, doesn't mean your kid's going to get better.
Correct.
It's all about development. Even at the highest level in the NBA, it's all about development. So if you're not developing kids, the talent, then it really doesn't matter where you're at. Like any club team can get the top player in the country and ride that wave. But I don't look at the top players in the country. I look at that second, third, and fourth tier. Are you creating opportunities for kids to get to college for free? Are they getting better? Because the top kids won't go anyway. Right? When they get to us in the NBA, they're not developed, so it's not working anyway in grassroots, right? It's just throwing them out there and riding the wave. And on the third and fourth tier and the second tier, can you create maybe a pro from that tier? Can you create a person who can get a 4-year degree and graduate and be a professional and other things in that tier? Because the things you learn from basketball with the structure and the discipline carries you over in life when you work hard at it and understand you can reflect on your time being taught and those lessons being taught immediately. Like, that's just the way it goes for development.
As far as that goes, I didn't look at it like that, but I totally can see where you're coming from with it. As far as the development goes, because I see it like when parents ask me, it's hard because, like I said, they look at, like you said, reinventing yourself. I'm like, Mom, Dad, look, we don't need all these cones on this court or whatever. You know, we're gonna get some ball handling in, and we're gonna work on 2 facets for this hour and just get a lot of repetitions. Cause I tell people and tell parents, the mother learning is repetition. The more you do it, the more you're gonna get better. So if I can, in this hour, we just work on 2 things, knock out these 2 things, and build on that, then your daughter or your son will get better eventually. But they can't just come to me once, twice a week, whatever, 3 times a week, and then don't do nothing at home.
Yeah.
I feel like what's missing is guys playing pickup. You know, guys don't play pickup no more. It's if the parents don't set up workouts, if the parents don't, set up an organized pickup, it's just like, man, we did that. That's 20 years ago. I know it's times have changed since 20 years, but I think pickup is missing the missing component. I feel like if you have skills training, pickup, and maybe do 2 tournaments a month, cool. I think it's so much the kids doing, like the whole month of July, all they doing is tournaments.
Well, July is a live period. They have to do the tournaments.
They have to.
But pickup is essential. Training is essential. The weights are essential, and also eating right is essential. That's where you separate.
Yeah.
When you get to a certain point, everyone's talented. It's the
Correct.
things you do outside the court that separates you. Staying out late, hanging out late, putting the wrong stuff in your body, or getting your rest and drinking water and eating right is going to separate you when you see that person consistently over and over and over again. And that's how you become a pro in the NBA for 10 plus years, right? The average career in the NBA is only 3 years, average. Right now, the first pension comes in is 369 is a full pension, right? So it's different layers, and people have these big dreams of making it to that level. And I believe anyone with talent can make it to that level. You would get an opportunity, but will you stay? And that's where people don't want to tell the truth when they don't make it and they had an opportunity. They didn't lock in on the details of preparing themselves for those rigorous seasons, rigorous practices, and to be consistently good at 88% every time you touch the court or more.
What do you think helped you stay in the league for 13 years?
Constantly growing and learning and being honest with yourself. Played for 13 as a player. This is my 19th year coming up, total coaching and playing. So constantly, being honest with yourself, finding things to get better at, working on things, finding something you're not great at, and don't forget what you are great at. Number one thing is having identity, like knowing who you are as a player. I'm not going to be like my teammate. I'm not going to be like my favorite player. I can pull things from them, but I have to be my true self. And wherever that is, that's going to help my team win every possession, that's what I'm going to do. Possession by possession, win the possession.
Something that helped me, it's going to sound crazy. You probably forgot you told me this. When you was I forgot where you was at, but man, I was overseas, I think it was my 2nd, 3rd year, and then I asked you, like, man, what, these seasons are long. I think I was in Finland, and because actually Nate Johnson got me on his old team because he had to leave. So I was in Finland. I'll never forget. You told me every month you do something different, like when you was playing. So 1 month you focusing on defense. Next month you working on offense. Then you might be focusing on pull up. That each whatever you could do, defense, offense, breakdown, defense, help D, whatever. But you kept something that each month or what was it, each week to keep you.
Yeah, because I played for so long, I had to find something to keep me engaged. I had to find something to keep me excited. And the game of basketball is a constant pursuit of perfection, but you would never perfect it. You're going to forget things or lose, mastering things. You'll lose that polish. You go back and you polish it up. You continue to get better, the passing, the little things. Like finding cool ways, because you're an artist, right? Athletes are artists, abstract artists. So you got to find ways to continue to be an artist, continue to be effective, continue to implement and pour love and joy and excitement into the game.
Gotcha. Growing up in a dot, what do you think as far as where we are now? 20, you still doing your thing, NBA. I was at your podcast and you talked a lot about passion with love for the dot. One of the things that I've started is a foundation, but my foundation is for kids that are, of course, inner city, but kids from not just inner city, but kids that's like, from the training aspects, I got little girls, Hispanic, Black, white, single moms, single dads. Some of these kids that I work with and train have had mental health issues. Some of them been raped. Some of them been just bad situations. And so with my foundation is for kids that can't afford my training, and also kids that have mental health and depression issues. I have 3 therapists on board. And so the goal with my foundation is to help them with the adequate training, and as far as kids who are already getting scholarship opportunities, but to help the kids that are not getting those kind of opportunities, keep equal playing field with my foundation, because I keep hearing I want to work with Luther, I just can't afford it. So I'm like, I started this, and I've reached out to the people in Wyandotte, and also like as far as the city, to let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
And my goal is to, as far as Wyandotte County goes, let people know, like, hey, look, like you said at the podcast, man, look, man, we here. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not saying we overshadow. It's just we gotta have more voices like a Earl Watson, like me, like a Malcolm Campbell, like a Joe Webb, like a people who try to do. The more voices we have in the city, in the dot, I feel like, because I didn't have a big name coming out of Washington. I had to work my ass off, training with you, training with everybody else to get to where I'm at now. But I feel like the more voices that we have in the dot, then that'll we always hear this little riffraff like, KC, the dot. But really, like, it's true. Like, if we have more voices like us stand up and say we are from the dot, and not like isolate yourself like you over there, you over there. We all come together as one big force. Everybody know, Wyandotte County, this is where this is going on, that going on.
Yeah, well, utopia will never exist in anything, right? And just because utopia doesn't exist doesn't mean it has to be competition within people trying to help kids. And this is my biggest challenge with grassroots basketball and anyone who's coaching younger people. It's not about you.
No.
Move out the way. If a kid wants to go to another team, let the kid go, support it. Because the ultimate goal is to get these kids free scholarships. But people want to ride that wave and claim that and say, I did this and I did that, and that's selfish. That's selfish
Very
as hell,
selfish.
right? And any coaches like that, I don't mess with them.
True.
Right? But I don't also hate on them. I let them do their own thing, and I stay focused on, I can say, chop wood, carry water, right? Chop wood, carry water. No matter what, chop wood, carry water. If I fail, chop wood, carry water. If I succeed, chop wood, carry water. If I'm visualizing and progressing towards something, chop wood, carry water. Commit to the process no matter what. And when you commit to the process, there is no destination. There is no place, a peak, a mountain where you can sit and rest and say, I did it. Because if you truly have passion, you're never resting. It's always something else you can do based on what you just accomplished, right? Mm-hmm. So always chop wood, carry water, focus on your own journey, have tunnel vision, be positive with everyone doing the same thing, but take on what you can take on your own challenges and not everyone else's.
I ain't never heard that. That's dope. My last question for you, I ask everybody this, is I got that on my shirts. What is your why?
Man,
everybody has a why.
I seen this dope sermon. I can't remember who said it, but I don't know if it was T.D. Jakes or Tory Roberts, but they was talking about just when people ask what is your why, just place your hand on your chest. When you place your hand on your chest, you feel a heartbeat. As long as your heart beats, that's your why. You're alive. You waking up. It's beating. It's a rhythm, right? Everything to life has rhythm. Everything to life has rhythm that's positive, right? Sun, the moon, day, night, the ocean. Everything has rhythm. If it doesn't have rhythm, it's not for you. It's not meant for you. It's a negative. So find things that have rhythm. Stay within those rhythms. Your rhythms might be hip hop, might be R&B, might be jazz, might be rock, might be alternative country. Whatever it is, find your rhythm. Commit to that rhythm, and sometimes you skip rhythms and you go to different rhythms, but always find a rhythm. Man, appreciate you, dog. Proud
appreciate you, man. That's dope, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard it. My guy E-Dub, Big E, my guy. I appreciate you coming out my couch.
59th Street.
Go ahead and do
The
it.
dot.
Y'all hear me? Yeah. Y'all like, subscribe, check out my YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep bringing y'all more dope content. And thank y'all. As y'all see, he crazy, he out. I'm out.